Hello students, I am Siddharth Thapa. Last class we were doing costing, and last class we had completed stores ledger under FIFO method. Again in last class we had studied about stores ledger, how it is prepared, why it is important, and we had done the meaning of bin card also. So today again, continuing with the chapter, we will continue with the next method, that is LIFO method or last in last out method. This method, which is also similar to FIFO, but what we do here is that issues are made from the latest receipts. In FIFO method, what we did was we issued from the receipts made earlier. So LIFO is just the opposite of the FIFO method. So there has been a little bit of mistake. It should be last in, first out method. It has been written last in, last out, but it is last in, first out method. So this method derives certain advantages, like you can see number one advantage is in case of rising prices, this method is suitable for rising prices. For rising prices, this method charges larger cost to the cost of production. That means the cost of production is shown at a higher amount. Again, the closing stock will be shown at a lesser value. So what this does, it deflates the profit. So by deflation of profit, there will be additional capital left in the business. Again, the closing stock will represent lower prices, and there will be no unrealized profit. Like I explained, by lowering the value of closing stock, the profit gets deflated. And number three, this method, like FIFO method, is simple in theory as well as in practice. But this method also has certain disadvantages, like it is suitable for rising prices, but for decreasing or falling prices, it will show a completely opposite result. When prices are falling, the cost of production is shown less, whereas the value of closing stock will be shown at a higher value. So what this does, it inflates the profit and there will be a drainage of capital. Again, when the number of purchases, if it is large, there may be some clerical mistakes. And thirdly, when we are charging at a LIFO method, when prices are issued at a LIFO method, a same material may be issued at two different rates. So it rather looks absurd. So the same materials, it is being charged at a job at another rate, and for another job for another rate. So these are the advantages and disadvantages of LIFO method. You can take a screenshot of these notes also. So we will continue with the stores ledger. We will solve a problem using LIFO method. The question is on the screen. We have some question. We will try to solve this under LIFO method. The pro forma, it is the same as the FIFO method. We will use the same pro forma: date, issue and balance. Date, receipts, issues and balance. Again, we'll show 3 columns each for each receipt, issue and balance. Rate, quantity, total, rate, quantity, total, again for balance, rate, quantity and total. So we will be starting. First you write the year 2016, the month is July, and the first transaction as on July 1st, there is a balance of 900 units. This you will write directly in the balance column. Rate is 3.30, balance is 900 units, and the total amounts to 2,970. So the first balance you post it directly to the balance column. We go to the next transaction, that is on 6th. On 6th there has been a purchase of 400 units at 4.20. You put it in the receipt column, 4.20. Quantity 400 units, amounts to 1,680. So the balance at the end of the day is 3.30, 900 units amounting to 2,970, and 4.20, 400 units amounting to 1,680. Next day, 11th. On 11th, there has been an issue of 1,000 units. In LIFO method, you can see here, there are two batches. Under LIFO method, last in first out method, the materials which have been received at last will be issued first. That means when we are issuing on 11, first issue will be made out of this batch. That is 400 units of rupees 4.20. All 1,680 has been issued, and the remaining 600 units, since we are issuing a total of 1,000 units, will be issued 3.30. So on 11th, we have issued all the 400 units from this batch, and the remaining 600 units we have issued from these 900 units. So what is remaining as the balance is, out of 900, 600 has been issued. Remainder is 300 units of 3.30 each. So the total balance amounts to 990 rupees. Now on the next date, that is 16th. On 16th, there has been an issue of 200 units. Since there is only one batch remaining, we can issue it from here. All 200 units has been issued from this batch, that is 3.30. So 660 rupees in total materials has been issued. So end of the day, the balance out of this 300 units, 200 has been issued. The remainder balance 100 units of 3.30 amounts to 330 rupees. Now another date, next date, 19th. On 19th, there has been a return from the production center of 80 units which has been issued on 11th July. So on 19th, there has been a receipt of 80 units from the materials issued on 11th July. So on 11th July, we had issued 400 units of 4.20, 1680, 600 units of 3.30, amounting to 1980. So in case of this return, we will take this amount 4.20. 4.20 into 80 amounts to 336. So the balance at the end of the day is 3.30, 100 units, the earlier balance, plus the return of 4.20, 80 units amounting to 336. That was on 19th. Now, before we proceed to the 26th, you have to look at the problem on 21st July, before arriving at 26th. On 21st July, there was a surplus of 20 units which were noticed on 21st July. Surplus, sometimes what happens is that some materials remain unaccounted for, and the storekeeper sometimes notices these discrepancies in the middle of the month. So this surplus, we will have to take it as a receipt. There was a surplus of 20 units. So at this amount, we will have to take the latest rate, that is 4.20. It is 84 rupees. Now, the new balance 3.30, 100 each, 330, 4.20, 80 units, 336, and 4.20, 20 units of rupees 84. Now, let's go to the next date, that is on 26th. New materials have been purchased. On 26th, we post it as receipts. Rate is 4.50, 800 units. Amounts to 3,600. So the balance at the end of the day, 3.30, 100 units, 330, 4.20, 80 units, 336, 4.20, 20 units at the rate of rupees 84, and 4.50, 800 units amounting to 3,600. So this was the balance on 26th. Now we proceed to the last date, that is on 30th July. There has been an issue of 500 units on 30th July. In total 500 units are being issued. It will be issued from the last batch. That means it will be issued from this batch. Since it has 800 units, all 500 units can be issued from this batch. So let's see. The last batch was at the rate of 4.50. 500 units were issued. totaling 3,600. So the balance remaining at the end of the month is 100 units of 3.30, 330 rupees, 420, 80 units, 336, 4.50, 4.20, 20 units amounting to rupees 84, and lastly 4.50 out of 800, 500 has been issued, remainder is 300 units. 4.5 into 300 amounts to 1350. So this was your stores ledger under LIFO method, but you have to show the balance after this problem. So after we finish the problem, we will show the closing balance as on 30th July 2016. So look at the problem, stores ledger. At the end of the day, there was these balances. In total, the balances amounted to rupees 2,100. So we have solved this problem under LIFO method. So now we will start with another method, simple average method. So previously we had done FIFO method and LIFO method. Under FIFO method, rising prices, falling prices was suitable, whereas in LIFO method, rising prices was suitable. But in reality, what we see is that the rate of these materials fluctuate. They don't constantly increase or they don't constantly decrease. So another method has been adopted, that is the simple average method. So under this method, the rate of issue is calculated by adding the rates of materials available at that time divided by number of materials. Like suppose let's say in a certain date I have 400 units of certain materials of rupees 300 each and 500 units of rate 4 rupees each. On this date, if I am issuing certain materials, the rate of such issue will be calculated as first batch it is 3 rupees each plus the second batch 4 rupees each, divide by, there are in total 2 batches, divide by 2, that is 7 divided by 2 equals rupees 3.50. So under simple average method, we shall be deriving the rates by this calculation. So let's go through the advantages and disadvantages. First, in simple average method, if there is any fluctuation in the prices, the issue price will not be effective very much. Again, where there is a lot of purchases, different batches are being purchases at different rate, and these batches cannot be identified or segregated, this simple average method is suitable. Again, this method is suitable when prices fluctuate, but the quantity of such purchase does not fluctuate. Again, let's go through the disadvantages. First disadvantage is that the value of closing stock as per stores ledger and the actual value of the materials, it will differentiate. Sometimes the stores ledger value will show a higher balance, thereby deriving profit from the stores. Sometimes the actual balance may show a lesser amount where there is a loss of materials. Again, the rate, sometimes the rate of the issue may be irrational. And lastly, where there is frequent purchases, frequent calculation of rates is very necessary. So it becomes very lengthy, cumbersome, and it involves very too many clerical work. So these were the advantages and disadvantages of simple average method. Now what we will do, we will go back to the previous question, the question we had earlier done under LIFO method, and we will solve the problem under this simple average method. So under this method, there has been a slight change of the pro forma. The receipt column and issues column, they are the same as LIFO and FIFO, but the balance column, you are required to show only the quantity and the amount. You don't have to show the rate column. So we will start with the problem. So the first, write the year 2016, month July, and on first there was a balance of 900 units of 330. That means 330 into 9, 3.30 into 900, amounting 2970. So we have not recorded the rate. We go to the next date, 6th. On 6th, you have purchased 400 units at the rate of 4.20. 4.2 into 400, total 1680. Now just look at the balance, how I am posting it. The number of quantities, earlier 900 plus 400, amounting to total 1300 units. 900, the earlier balance, plus the new receipt 400, totals 1300. The amount also, we add this amount, 2970 plus 1680 equals 4650. Right now, we have two batches. First is 4.20, 400 units. Second, first is 900 units of 3.30. Second is 4.20, 400 units. Now, on the 11th, 1000 units are being issued. So on 11th, you have issued 1000 units. Now the calculation of rates. Now like you see, there are two batches. First 900 units and 400 units of 330 rupees and 420 rupees. So the rate of issue equals 3.30 plus 4.20, since there are two batches, divide by 2, amounts to 7.50 divided by 2 is 3.75. So the rate that is being issued on 11 is 3.75 into 100 or 1000 amounts to 3750. So this is the method of how you calculate the rate of issue. There were two batches of 900 units and 400 units. Rate was 3.30 and 4.20 divided by the number of batches. So the rate of issue is 3.75. Now again, when you post in the balance, look here carefully. There were earlier 1300 units. Out of this, 1000 has been issued. That means there is only 300 units left. Again, out of 4650, 3750 has been issued. So the balance remaining is, you deduct the amount from the earlier balance, is 900 units. Now make just a brief working that out of 1000 issued, let's assume 900 units were issued from here, the first batch. So now there is no first batch, all the materials has been issued, and 100 units has been issued from here. That means from the second batch 300 units are remaining. Now let's go to the next date, that is on 16th. On 16th also there has been an issue of 200 units. Now you may have noticed that on 16th there is only one single batch of 300 units. Rate is 4.20. Now the rate of issue will be 4.20 divided by, there is no other batch, only one batch. So the rate of issue will be 4.20. into 200 amounts to 840. So the balance remaining is, out of 300 units, 200 has been issued, 100 units are remaining. Out of 900, 840 rupees has been issued, 60 rupees is remaining. On 19th, there has been a return of 80 units. On 19th, there has been receipt of 80 units which had been issued on July 11th. On July 11th, the rate of issue was 3.75. So 80 into 3.75 amounts to 300. So the quantity, already we had 100 units plus 80 equals 180 units. Amount 60 rupees plus 300 amounts to 360 rupees. Now before going to 26, like there was a surplus of 20 units on 21st July. So on 21st July, there was a surplus of 20 units, the rate of which will be calculated on the latest rate, that is 4.20. 84 rupees. So the balance at the end of 21st was 180 units plus 20 units, totals 200 units. The amount is 360 plus 84. $444. So we go to the next date, 26th. On 26th, there has been a purchase of 800 units. 800 units of rupees 4.50. Totals 3,600. The balance at the end of the day is 200 plus 800 units, total 1,000 units, 3,600 plus 444 amounts to 4,044 rupees. Now on the last date, on 30th, there has been an issue of 500 units. On 30th, we are issuing 500 units. Now let's see how many batches are there and what the rate of issue will be. So the first opening balance 900 units were completely issued. Second batch of 400 units, only 100 had been issued. So we have a batch consisting of 4.20 plus, after that we had received 3.75 plus 4.20 plus last receipt was 4.50. In total, there are 1, 2, 3 and 4 batches, so divide by 4. So the rate will be 4.2 plus 3.75 plus 4.20 plus 4.5 divide by 4. So we will take an approximate value of 4 rupees 16 paise. So the rate on this date will be 4.16. 4.16 into 500 amounts to 2080 rupees. So at the end of the day, again, there was already 1000 units. Out of this, 500 units has been issued. So the remainder is 500 units, and the amount remaining is 4044 minus 2080, 1964. So we have solved this problem under simple average method. You cross a line across the store's ledger. So this was today's lesson. Today we have completed 2 methods, the LIFO method, last in first out method, and the simple average method. So thank you.